We are on the road to the games. We are in a accumulation phase where we're just building capacity, and we'll go from this phase to intensification and then pre-competition phase. So it'll get a little bit more intense as we progress towards the games, but it's a standard day of training on the road to the games. .500-meter row, 9 ring muscle ups, rest a minute, do it again. That was max capacity for me. Absolutely max. Hey, I hope you guys are enjoying the video. I just want to say thanks to Element for sponsoring this video, and I am getting ready for my second session. And typically my first session, I use Element as a pre-workout. During my second session, which is a lot more cardio endurance based, I use this throughout my training session. It keeps me hydrated through a bit longer of an effort in a very, very hot garage. Element is a zero sugar electrolyte drink mix born from the growing body of research revealing that optimal health outcomes occur at sodium levels 2 to 3 times the government recommendation. Element helps anyone stay hydrated without the sugar and other dodgy ingredients found in popular electrolyte and sports drinks. Right now, Element is offering you guys a free sample pack that includes 8 of their drink mix flavors. This is perfect for anyone who wants to find their favorite Element flavor or to share with a salty friend. This offer is only available through my link. Go to drinkelement.com/Jason Grubb. That's drinklmnt.com/Jason Grubb. Didn't make it on that set. 7. This doesn't feel efficient today on the rings. There's days I feel much snappier. Today is not one of those days. I don't know why. It's okay. Like, I just have to practice on days when I feel great and days when I don't. Today I felt a little heavy, a little slow, and that made each rep more costly. So the prescription is max unbroken set, right? So this was 45% of my max unbroken ring muscle ups. When my max unbroken is 20, this was 45%, which was 9. Next week is 10. So it's been a progression building up, just building that gymnastics stamina, and then we'll actually dial it back and then do it again. Quick, you go ahead. I'll just cycle in. Well,
Oh, Gina, I was like, I bet when you're programming, you're like, oh no, maybe I should just go 38.
Totally, I didn't know if I should program that. Bunch of masters athletes jumping on 40-inch flexes, like, we're gonna have a mass drop off at our subscriber base. And pictures of shins and, yeah, they're fine.
It's just in your head.
I watch you do it, I'm like, I can't do that. I can't do what he's doing. I can't jump that high.
But you can.
I can. It's nice. We'll have to do that some more. Such a primer for what we're gonna do. We're gonna snatch, and that's all. I've never jumped on wooden boxes that high. I've always stacked a soft box on top. All right, we've got snatch pulls, pausing overhead squats, and then snatches that get somewhat heavy today, up to 87%. Olympic lifting is not a huge strength for me. It's always good to just do lots of work around this. Build the capacity, build movement repetition at not maximal loads, not crazy, crazy heavy. I don't feel like the clock is ticking yet. I don't feel a lot of pressure. I'll start feeling pressure. I mean, honestly, I feel ready anytime. So my whole goal is to keep this level of fitness really high and then just have a slight peak as we get towards the games and trust that I've got this like well-rounded foundational strength fitness base. Like I'm ready for whatever's coming. I'm ready for the games. I'll feel the clock ticking like 2 weeks out. Then I'll get really nervous. For whatever reason, 185 always kind of gets in my head. Or I'll say it like this. It used to get in my head. It was just enough, like, if I hit 185, it's a really good day. Now I'm trying to make it like 195 to 200. It's kind of like, it's a weight that it took me years to hit consistently. And now I hit consistently. It's in workouts, you know? It's not just lifting. Ready? This is gonna suck. One snatch every 10 seconds for 3 minutes. And then boom, boom, go. Step back, step up, hand, go. I know that's how I do things when I'm kind of pacing in a workout. This kind of practice, this snatch battery work is a good way to build that capacity, build that rhythm, build that routine so that we can just work our way through big sets like this and not lose. Just do the same thing over and over and over again.
People lose a lot of time doing that, right?
Yeah, you lose time stepping back, resetting, thinking, not setting up the same way. If you can just have all of that be automatic and all you're thinking about is it's time to go, time to go. Next is 10 minutes of work, 2 minute, as many reps as possible of different things, of 5 different things, rest 5 minutes, and another 10 minutes, 5 different things, 2 minutes, max reps of everything. What it really is it's 2 10-minute AMRAPs. You just have to be stationary on one thing, 2 minutes at a time. The hurry right now is the fact that there's a class starting in 28 minutes and our workout is 25 minutes. We can't cross into class, so we got to get this done. You don't like it, this is you just can't train. Like, I love this. I love feeling pain. even though I only got 7 on my last set of 9 ring muscle ups, I was afraid to jump on the box, and then I got it. And then, snatches were a B or an 8 out of 10 on a snatch day, maybe a 7 out of 10. Overall, it's a good training day. I felt like I got through the volume, I got through the work that I wanted to get through. And 9 muscle ups, each one of those rounds was aggressive for me. It's a big aggressive number. So I'm not upset that I didn't get 9 on the last set. It just wasn't my day for muscle ups. It wasn't my day for snatches. I must say, it's rarely my day for snatches, but they still felt okay. The snatches I hit felt good. So I like that. And then the snatch battery was fine. So, snatch battery went well, and the final piece went really well. I was able to push myself and pace myself for 10 minutes twice. And that was the purpose of that workout. It wasn't to max out sets of 2 over and over again. It was to think, how do I get through this total 10 minutes the best that I can? And I felt like I executed that really well. We ran out of time to get front squats in, and that's just part of training in a gym that has an active class at noon. I wish I could work out whenever I wanted to at a gym, but I don't have that liberty. And that's okay. It keeps us very focused and dialed in getting the work done. And if I feel like doing the front squats later, I'll do them later during my second session. If I'm warm enough and I feel good, I'll do that. It's not a lot of reps. It was just to get a few heavy front squats in. So it would have taken an extra 10 minutes. But I got to the gym about 10 minutes late, and sometimes that's just how it goes. So to go get a haircut and eat some food, get some work done this afternoon, I'll be ready for session 2 at home. Got some Black Label creatine and raspberry cream whey protein in here. It's the best after a workout. My second sessions are often more about building capacity. So I'm rarely touching a barbell during a second session or doing a lot of tremendously dynamic stuff. But what I am doing is machine work. So machine work is a lot lighter on my body, but can help me obviously build capacity. Today is hard. I've got 10 rounds of 50-second max effort, 50-second max effort on this Echo bike and walking the remaining time. So really it's 50 seconds here, 4 minutes and 10 seconds there is what it'll look like. And I'm just getting the heart rate going a little bit before I do round 1. But this is red work. I write the programming. This is Boulder Athlete stuff. And 3 times a week, we do stuff that is max effort. Monday night for our second session on the elite track. On Wednesdays, we do another red workout, an all-out effort during the first session. And that's the day before a recovery day, which is nice. And then we also do that on Saturday. So Mondays are the only day that we don't have a recovery day right after an all-out effort. But this all-out effort is only on a machine. That's what I got going on. I like these efforts. They're very hard. I'm going to get so sweaty in this hot garage, but I don't mind because I've got Element. I'll stay hydrated. I've got my favorite podcast to listen to. And then after this, I'll do some reinforcement work. I've got some bent over rows, some chin-ups, some dumbbell rows, and banded bicep curls. The other part about warming up for this effort is that really the warm-up for me is just some work on the Echo bike. I don't know, 5 minutes at a moderate pace. I've got almost 20 calories, 4 minutes and 45 seconds. I'll blast through 20 calories into 50 seconds of work in a second here. So I'm going to be listening to My First Million, one of my favorite podcasts. I've got a couple of episodes saved up for this work. This is going to take me 10 rounds, 50 minutes, 50 minutes to get through. Man, that's tough. I got 29. That's done.
3 more minutes of walking. I can do that.
This is your 6th time training for the games.
Mm-hmm.
And have you learned anything over the past 6 years that you've changed and implemented?
I don't have to train at my very highest level year round. And I can give myself a significant dose of training leading up to the games in order to be prepared.
Were you training too much? You said you don't have to train that high all year.
Yeah, I'm going to say historically, probably until maybe a year and a half ago, I was probably overtraining most of the time. I thought that I did have to give all out effort and be at the very tip top of shape, like year round, like week after week after week. There was no such thing in my mind as a deload week, where you actually take a week to dial things back significantly so that your body can heal and recover and then come back better and stronger and more prepared. I was just pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. And what that ended up doing is causing just some nagging injuries, which would cause me to have to dial back a little bit. And then I'd build and build and work harder and harder and harder and have just some nagging things and have to dial it back. So
you did take deload weeks unintentionally.
Yeah. My body forced me into some deload times.
How have you stayed at the top of your game and avoided like burnout?
I like this. I think that's my biggest burnout avoidance system is that I like the training. I like this rhythm. I like my habits and routines. And this is part of it. Like daily training is part of it. And I love training with people at the gym. And I don't mind training at home alone. I like being fit. I like being at the top of my game. I like the sport. I like knowing that I can go to the CrossFit Games this year. And I signed up for a High Rocks event in November. And I can just do that. Like this is not like, oh, I'm going to have to do something special and unique to do something like that. And it keeps me prepared to do like really generally whatever I want. If you don't like this, if you don't like the training, if you don't enjoy the feeling you get after doing something super painful, like there's a little bit of a dopamine hit there. Like there's a payoff in the daily training. It's really hard. You're done. You feel satisfied. You feel like you accomplished something. That's probably part of it too, because I'm an addict.
Yeah.
I like me some dopamine.
How do you feel about your chances this year?
This year's going to be very hard. The guys coming into the age group all competed with me in 2019. And I was 43 and they were all 40. Okay. There was only 10 of us in 2019. 4 or 5, maybe 7 of them are back and they're all just turning 45. All that to say that like they're young. It's hard. It's going to be really hard. I know what I'm up against. I know these guys. I know what their capacity is. I've watched them over the past couple of years as they've done super well in the 40 to 44-year-old age group. I'm nervous. I'm nervous every year. I was nervous last year. Really, really worried last year. I was worried at Legends this year. So I think it's healthy. I think it's fair for me to be nervous. At some point, I won't win. That's a reality. And I'm just going to have to live with that and hope to get on the podium. But this year, I hope to win. I think I can. I think I can win. So that's my goal. My goal is to win. If I'm standing on the podium next to some other athletes that beat me, hats off to them. Because I know how hard they work. I know how hard I work. And it's going to be a delicious competition.
We're traveling tomorrow and it's going to interrupt your training. How are your feelings?
I like to follow the program that I write to the T. I don't like to deviate. It's all planned out. It's all kind of methodical. It's perfect. I don't know. I'm talking out loud. I'll probably end up missing a day of training this week when it's all said and done. Maybe 2 days of training. The question was, how do I feel about it? That is stressful. I'm excited to go see our older kids and our families in town. That outweighs the annoyance of like messing up my training a little bit. Next week is another full week of training, then a deload week. So there's going to be plenty to do next week. We have a life. We all have lives, I think, as masters athletes. And it's summer. There's summer vacations. There's things to do. And this isn't the only trip this summer. So there's a couple of trips. Yeah, I'm willing to move things around. And I know I'm fit. And I know that missing a day isn't going to get me my whole life. Missing a day of work or missing a day of training or something has always had me feeling like I'm getting behind. By just missing one thing, I'm getting way behind. And I think I've overcome that. I know that, do I have solid months and weeks and years of training? Yes. Does one day mess that whole thing up? Or does 2 days in a week out of 52 weeks a year mess that up? Or even a few days, a few weeks of the year? It doesn't mess it up. I miss training. I miss my basic routines. But besides that, I think it's okay.
Do you think winning has eased that frantic energy?
No, like winning hasn't eased that franticness around training. the confidence that I'm a fit person and that there's a lot that goes into winning besides training every single day. There's a lot that goes into winning. A lot of experience, a lot of other factors besides training every single day just perfectly. So I think all of that has made me a more mature athlete, and I'm not panicky about it. That is a day of training. We have 3 months out from the CrossFit Games, and there's plenty of time. My goal is to stay fit, get stronger, build my capacity, and then get a little more intense as we build up towards the games. Thanks for joining me on this Monday. If you have questions about this or feedback, leave some comments below. I love responding to comments. And as always, guys, your best days are ahead of you. Get bolder, not older. See ya.